Well, it's been a while, hasn't it, since the last US Battle Royale video? Well, this is certainly going to be an interesting one because my audio wasn't working for the original one, but since this is not a normal video, this is actually something that I can't really get back. Well, no, that I can't really, like, record another one because this is literally in a series. Well, I'm going to give you, I'm going to tell you what happened. And since I don't have a perfect memory, then I just have the recording up here of me doing this stuff. And as you can see, the intro, oh my gosh, the intro was exactly the same with me falling back into the chair. As you can see right there. So, I hope that this is going to be good enough to get, I hope this is going to be good enough for me to show, and I'll edit it down to make sure it's not 40 minutes, obviously. And I'll probably constantly be saying something like jump cutting and stuff like that. So, I hope this is going to be good enough. Well, anyways, I'm Rogue Miner, and welcome back to US Battle Royale. If you want easier access to my videos, then subscribe. It also gets me more notoriety on YouTube. Also, like, if you like this sort of stuff. I mean, not exactly this sort of stuff, but like this stuff that I'm doing with this. Well, excuse me. Without further ado, let's get on to the first thing. And obviously it's year 2029, so yeah. First of all, Carolina tried to attack Kentucky. Right here you can see how that went for them. They did not do well, as you can see. They got annexed. Next up, we had Kentucky. Actually, maybe it was Michigan try to go after Kentucky. I forget. I need to go back to see what the wheel said. Okay, it said Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky went after Michigan, and as you can see right over there. Okay, they didn't get puppeted. I had the realization that no, they actually got land taken over. So yeah, there was the new borders, and don't worry, Michiganders. What the heck? Your state is still free. Just you don't have that much more territory. Also, I just thought, Ohioers, you are now no longer under Michigan rule. So I'm sure they're happy about that. But next up we had, I forget. Who did we have up next? We had, Texas go after, Louisiana. And, as you can see, they got puppeted. So, the puppet was given to, it was given to Mississippi, yeah. So then, next up, we had an alliance try to form between New York and, at first it was Vermont, but Vermont is New York's puppet, so Arizona had to do, and they were both the same ideology, so they had a better chance of actually allying, so they ended up actually allying, and they became the Black Star Alliance, I'm gonna call it. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it the Black Star Alliance. next up we had another war, and that was between, it was started by Virginia, and Virginia went after Maryland, and we are going to see that right over here. My editor self is gonna probably zoom in on this, but as you can see here is Maryland as a puppet of Kentucky. So yeah, they got a little more powerful. So then Florida, Georgia came in for a war, and they went after Mississippi. And as you can see in the top left, I had a headache of trying to figure this out. But eventually I figured it out, and I figured out that they annexed all 3 states. So, yeah. That was a pretty massive empire. And if you think it was gonna have a pretty massive downfall, then you're correct, because pretty much the next turn... Okay, not the next turn, actually. But after the next few wars, literally the same year, something was going to happen. And also, I forgot, but the people of Oklahoma tried to rebel against New Mexico. That failed. Then next we had I realized that Kansas was not alive. So then next went Mississippi, which I realized I forgot to take off. So I took off Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. Then we went with DC to have a civil war. And you can see here, no, they're not the Royalist purple. I should have thought about that for monarchists. But no, they are actually they're communists. I don't know why I chose purple for that. It's not a suiting color. Yeah, but they had a civil war, and fascists rose up from the north, and you'll see in the borders soon enough, once I draw them, that yeah, this northern part is fascist now, and the southern part is the actual thing. And then I called this the Democratic Republic of DC, and then this one's just DC, so I can just distinguish between the two. Obviously, the Democratic Republic is obviously communist, because the places with Democratic in their name, usually they're not democratic. Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see here, it spinned to get fascism. Yeah, so it rose up in the north, and then, yeah, we had that happen, and I just decided to have a line split through the capital, like that. So, yeah, that's what happened. And spinning the wheel. Also, for some reason, through the whole episode, there was literally no ad that showed up right here. Don't ask me why that happened, but I am glad that happened. So, New York took a turn, and they, after a few spins of the wheel, landed... The reason I say a few spins is because, 1, they tried to attack the ocean, 2, they tried to attack their own puppet, and 3, now they're on to trying to get Maryland, which, you can see right on that frame, editor myself, zoom in on there. Now Maryland is under New York and is a puppet, so now DC is no longer surrounded by Kentucky and its puppets. Okay, then next up we had Puerto Rico go, and after a few mess ups of the wheel, they eventually spin to go after I forget which they go after first. they either went after Georgia, Florida, or Hawaii. So that yeah. So how the war went is basically Georgia, Florida ended up committing war crimes. So that's why I'm drawing lines here for that. Yeah. And yeah, that happened, and I gave that land to Iowa originally. You're gonna see what I mean by originally in a few moments. This land was given to Kentucky. Then I realized that I forgot to give land to to Puerto Rico. So that's what I'm doing right there. And so basically, excuse me, all the cultural southern states were given to Puerto Rico, plus Florida and Louisiana. Maybe. Okay, so yeah, I'd consider Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and actually, that's the border of Georgia, right there, ish. It's taken part of South Carolina, but I was intending for them to have South Carolina. You know what? I'm going to change that, actually. There's a border right there. Nice. And yeah. Here's what I gave them. Here's what I'm gonna give them right there. And now, yeah, they have what I'd consider the cultural South. Oh. There we go. Now that's owned by Puerto Rico. Also, you can see that they also took over Hawaii right here. Oh shoot, nope, that's not the right thing. No, here we go. And, yeah, they got all of that stuff, and then Puerto Rico spun again, and they went after Hawaii. And, basically, Hawaii was traded, Puerto Rico and, New Mexico basically traded Hawaii. Basically, Hawaii became Puerto Rico's capital instead. Next, we had Maine, who tried to unite with New York, and as you can see, right by the end, this is towards the end. So basically, yeah, they didn't end up uniting, and this is basically the end of what happened. So basically, this is what we end up with. First, let's start off in the Northeast. Maine, by the end of the year, had tried to unite with New York, but that obviously failed because they aren't united. New York formed an alliance with Arizona, and I call that the Black Star Alliance, which I like that name. I literally came up with that like on the spot here, but basically that's what happened. Then before that alliance was formed, New York took over Maryland, so now they have two puppets. There was a civil war in DC, so fascist versus communist. There was a war between Michigan and Kentucky, and Kentucky obviously won that, but Michigan obviously still had its original borders. Then we had the rise and quick fall of Georgia, Florida. Iowa is now probably the strongest empire, in the whole map. If not, then either if that's not true, then it's either Utah or Puerto Rico. I don't know which one of those is more powerful. But then like there's probably like a tie between like the top great power between three nations. So then the fourth great power is the fourth great power is probably going to be probably gonna be New York, followed by Arizona. And with them two together, they're definitely a force to a force that you're probably gonna lose against if you're not the top three. And even if you are the top three, then they might still win. At least if this was not a game based off of dice. But yeah, then sixth place goes to sixth place. That goes to, I guess, Maine. Okay, maybe 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th are tied between Maine, Michigan, South Dakota, or at this point just Dakota, and Montana. Yeah, they're all tied for 6th place, I'd say. Then then in 10th is the DC states, the two DC states, which they're tied for 10th. Then yeah, basically that's the end. So I hope you liked that summary of what happened for the 7th episode. This was annoying to create, but faster than I thought it was gonna be. So, so I hope you liked that, and thanks for watching, and bye.